Well, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Rimshots with Sean, brought to you by Barstools and Bandtalk. I've been on two separate calls with this gentleman, but he may be new to you guys. I've got the one, the only Mr. Jason Dozer, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. How are you, sir?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So Jason has a very unique background. He is the front man for, I guess we'll say three bands, because you have Moby Dick, you have the Def Leppard band, you have Van Halen. But by trade, you are a machinist, and you have a absolutely interesting, amazing company. You're called the mic stand guy.
I guess so. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because you had a poster today where there was a young lady that was on Jimmy Fallon that was mic stand. So talk a little bit about how you get into that business, and how it occupies your time quite a bit.
Sure. As far as that was for Megan Maroney. It's pretty neat seeing your stuff on TV and everything. I was just posted actually today about the CMA Fest that's going on this week, and I think I have like 10 or 12 artists that I've worked with that might have my mic stands there at that thing. So that's pretty neat. As far as how I got into it, is that what you were asking me? Because you kind of cut out there for a second.
Well, I mean, obviously, it would probably have something to do with the fact you're a musician yourself. You probably never saw the mic stand that you always wanted to have. Is that a legitimate sort of thing?
Definitely. I ran a lathe at a machine shop, and at the time when I moved to Atlanta, I joined a cover band, and we were busy, and I didn't like the crap stands that you get off the shelf, the little $40 deals. So I just asked my boss one day at the time if I could use the lathe to make something for myself, and I did. And that was basically it for a long time until I got to meet one of my idols, James LaBrie, backstage. And I told him I wanted to make him a mic stand for free. And it basically just took off from there.
So, I mean, the last time that I was on Ken's show with you, we kind of talked about, your business is a word of mouth business. I mean, it gets out there, and you're not having to really hustle for leads, and they're coming to you. Yeah. But what's your process in terms of from when you're contacted to, the time that it goes out the door? How exactly does that work? I know you told me, there's a deposit that's required, what have you, but what's the process like? Is it pretty much stock, or is it different every time that you do it?
I mean, I have a base of things that I like to work with, but I'm always willing to do anything crazy. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're definitely cutting out.
Pull it off.
Yeah, you're cutting out on me.
Sorry. I just said, have you ever had that artist that, you try and you try and you try, but it's just, you have to go to them and say, look, we're just not going to be able to do what you want to do. We got to switch gears or go to a different idea.
Usually I'll try to tackle anything unless it's just a crazy, crazy rush. Like I'm pretty much at a point right now where there's an artist wanting something completely just insane, 3D printed with wires and everything, and they want it in like 2 weeks now, and there's just no way. So as far as something like that, I like a challenge, but I can't just promise the world and not be able to deliver. But like I just made a really cool mic stand for Hardy that was really different. I like doing different things. I don't like doing the same old thing every time. So I definitely like a challenge. So if an artist comes to me and they say, it's not usually an artist, by the way. Usually it's one of their managers or something, but they say he wants it just like this, he wants it this color and everything, then you just kind of got to do what they want. But a lot of times they ask for suggestions, and so I'll Google them or see what they're about, what they do on stage, watch a YouTube, and try to customize something for what they're probably would like.
Well, see, that's cool, because I mean, the collaborative piece, it's art, it's creative. And I think for what you do, and I've got to know you a little bit, I think that if somebody just said do this and it's like, oh, go on to the next, and you didn't have a say or you weren't able to help, I think that would probably get a little bit boring for you. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's still really cool to like. I made a couple of stands for N. Wilson just recently, and one of them was really cool, and the other one was just almost nothing to it, really plain. But even if it had just been the plain one, to be able to say I did something for Ann Wilson is really, really cool. So if it's a really cool name, I don't mind.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Um, like obviously we went through the whole 4 years ago, and there was issues with everybody working and playing and whatnot, and you're hearing supply chain issues with certain things. I'm going to guess that was an issue for you a while ago, but has that kind of cleared itself up, or are you still experiencing any of that in terms of materials and what have you?
no, I mean, in 2020 and 2021, I mean, that part of my business was completely dead. There was nobody touring, so nobody was buying anything new. As far as supply, it's really just aluminum, and there's aluminum everywhere. So that's not really an issue for me. I'm just really starting to dabble with a lot of electronics with the LED stands I'm making. So there is a little bit of that, but it's not bad. I just, at this point, I'll just order a bunch of something and have it sitting on a shelf, just and pretty much know that it's going to sell, or at least hope so.
Well, it's certainly a nice feeling to have, or a nice knowing that you do something and it probably moves pretty quick. Because I mean, in your business, I think if things sit there and get stale, that could be a death blow in terms of your costing and how your model is.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But these new LED stands I'm making, there's two different kinds. One of them is just a remote control. It's a little bit simpler, and then the other one is the DMX, where the guy at the front of the house can control the mic stand with the whole light show. So I just got those off the ground just in the last month, and I made three for Janet Jackson tour and one for Avril Lavigne. And unfortunately, I can't share them yet because they haven't put them in the stage show yet. So, but they're just killer. I mean, they're so cool.
I have to think an artist like Pink, if she doesn't have one of your mic stands, is going to be real soon, because I've seen some of the ones that you've done, and I've seen some of the ones that artists like her are using, and it just seems to me like A, it's up your alley, but B, yours might be a higher end product.
I don't even know if she uses much of a mic stand. I think she just carries one. I've seen her have an accessory, and I think I've seen the person that bejeweled it, like blinged it out. But I don't think she uses it. But I mean, to that point, yeah, I was able to contact Kiss's management on this last tour, and I was like, dude, they have everything on stage looking killer, but the mic stands, they just use these basic mic stands. I was like, I can make something so cool. And so I pitched it, and they weren't interested. They wanted the same plain mic. Cheap Trick, that's another one. I thought they have everything cool, white and black, but they use these plain mic stands. But that's just the artist. I guess that's what they're used to, and they want to keep it that way. I don't understand
Yeah,
it.
Kiss cracks me up, because I mean, to me, it'd be like, okay, if there was one band that would do something totally different and interesting, and you're right, their stage show is bombastic, and then you have those stands that you get on Amazon for
Yeah,
20 bucks. I mean, why not go the extra mile?
exactly. Exactly.
So let's shift gears here a little bit. Jason, are you out playing this weekend?
Excuse me?
Are you
Am
out
I on?
playing this weekend with any of your bands?
Oh yeah, I'm in Atlanta, and I have a gig here local Friday night, and then we have to leave after the gig and drive to Knoxville, Tennessee to sleep. That's about halfway, and then we got to be in Indiana around 2:30 or 3 Saturday. So yeah, it's going to be an
Wow.
interesting weekend.
Um, well, and for anybody that doesn't know, you have the two. I guess you call them tribute bands.
Yep.
Um, and we talked before, and they're busy. How many shows a year are you playing between those two bands?
Well, with all three bands, I usually average 80 to 90 shows, about, 6 to 8 gigs a month, somewhere in there. It's
So
exhausting.
what I'd like you to do, like you to do right now, because oftentimes I talk to people and they always say, I'm so busy, and they spell busy Lazzy. They don't spell it Busy, right? And I mean, you and I have talked about this before, but in terms of time management, if anybody was to come to you and say, hey, I want some tips on time management, what would you be able to offer up? Because it seems like you don't have a spare minute to give.
Oh man, honestly, I don't know how I do what I do with three bands and a wife and kids and just everything. It's really, and I hate, like, even right now. There's a guy doing some work in my house. It's like I can do that. I just don't have time. So I tell Shay,
Yeah.
I tell my wife, just let somebody. I don't even have time to do an oil change anymore. It's just you get to that point. It's like I'd rather just pay somebody to do it. I don't, you know. I hate to be like that because I would
Well,
never be like that. I'm stingy, but man, you gotta. It's got.
well, I am too. I am too, but I'm also not handy, so that would kill me if I knew how to do it and I had to pay somebody. I don't know if I'd be able to live with myself.
Yep.
We promised you that we wouldn't keep you long because we know the shorts are the thing that people want to see. So my viewers who span the globe, and I mean, I actually passed a milestone in that. What is it now? If you think about this for a second, 72% of all my viewers are in the United States, which is pretty interesting. Where are my viewers going to find out more about you and what you do and all the things that you have on the go?
Metaldozer.com. Instagram is Metal Dozer. And then the Van Halen tribute is called 84. The Def Leppard tribute is Excitable.
Love it.
That's
Jason
it.
Dozer, thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate your time. It's great seeing you again. And go enjoy the rest of the day, sir.
Rock on. Thank you.
All right, brother.
See you.